Need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety. If you're working in your yard, remember never to place landscaping, structures, and fences too close to above-ground electrical equipment. It's unsafe and could cost you financially. Visit les.com for a complete fence and landscaping installation guide.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatch Mac, nachos, and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into the Don't Punt Hour, not the Lighthouse. Switch the banner there. Don't Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El, the host, as always. Joining me via stream, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Back at the ticket studio. We are no longer at the Blur Events tailgate, and unfortunately, we won't get to go there anymore, as our time is up there. But like I said, it's a great time down there, and they're still open until June 21st. So if you guys want to go down there, check it out, and you haven't had the opportunity just because the ticket isn't down there, I still highly recommend it. Awesome place to go watch some College World Series baseball action. But that being said, good morning, Pierson-El. How's it going on a nice Wednesday? And before we hit what's going to feel like hell, I think we got like 100 degrees straight.
That's what I'm talking about. It's not too bad, enjoying the weather, enjoying grilling out.
You see 100 and you're happy?
Yeah, I don't like the cold. I'm a heat person. Turn it up.
I like heat, not lava. I don't like melting. I like 80, 90, 70 is okay. 100 degrees is crazy. All right, well, you're going to love this weekend. I didn't realize you like the heat that much. But as always, we're not going to talk about that. Where I want to start was, I don't know what you'd call it. I mean, a version of Malice in the Palace in the WNBA that went on yesterday's game.
That is not the WNBA's version.
I mean, it was pretty chippy. We will run the tape. Good morning, Pierson.
Run it.
All right. Give me 1 second here. And we're streaming only, so this will be great. If you guys are watching, that means you'll get to watch alongside with us.
I don't think a lot of people understand what the Malice in the Palace actually was.
Malice in the Palace was a lot more brutal. This one, exactly. No fans. No. But this is the closest thing I think I could be wrong. But in terms of player getting after it, here is the game yesterday between the Sky and the Fever. Caitlin Clark starts off with a little bit of a hit to the face, and then things just flare up. The only way I can play it is we'll just have you guys watch. I'm going to turn the volume down so we don't get any loop in here so we can commentate over it. But it got chippy. So you'll see Caitlin Clark get swiped in the face, and immediately someone comes up, decks her to the ground. Now you got things have simmered down a little bit. She's walking off fine. It's not that big of a deal up until later in the game. And we'll play a better replay of it right here for everyone who is watching on the stream. So there's the first hit. And then later in the game, it does lead to some more fighting. If I can flash forward here. Oh, they cut that part out. That's a bummer. At one point, her teammate is also making a revenge game. Thoughts on that whole sequence right there? Good morning, Pierson.
That ain't Malice in the Palace. I don't want to hear that.
It's exciting basketball, though. They're getting after it.
I mean, they're competitors. They're gladiators as well. I mean, she pushed back. She stood up for herself and everything like that. So I mean, what you expect? It's a team sport. I mean, at least it's. I don't want to say it's some type of excitement because it's violent. It's not that's not right or wrong. But I mean, teams came to each other's aid. That's not the worst thing that we've seen in the WNBA. I feel like they've had some times where people have slammed girls or threw girls to the ground or swung on girls. I mean, it gets chippy. It's playoff time. It's crunch time. What kind of that's expected? How many times have we seen Draymond choke somebody out? You know what I mean? So it wasn't even to to that level. So things got chippy. Tempers flare and whatnot, and they handled what they needed to handle, and they got back to playing. I don't think nobody was kicked out of the game or thrown out or suspended or anything.
No, just technicals getting past.
All right. I mean, that's sport. Let the females, figure it out. That's not anything relatively crazy. And people might say, "Oh, they're attacking Caitlin and everything like that." She pushed her. I mean, she didn't necessarily have to push her. You know what I mean? You already had the foul. Stuff was out of it. So I mean, you can't be mad and upset when people retaliate off of things.
Yeah, and that's the part where it was in some ways nice to see. Anytime that kind of happens, you want an enforcer to defend the teammate. That's what I was trying to find later in the play. There was a little bit of a retaliation, nothing super dirty, but at one point, one of the players grabbed the lady who ran in there and had the kind of hard push on the blind side of Caitlin Clark. later in the game, someone grabbed that woman's hair and got in her grill on the sideline after a foul, pulling her to the ground and just laying into her. And that's what I was really trying to find. And it was like, okay, they're standing up for Caitlin Clark, which is what any good teammate would do. We see it
For
in
sure.
today. I was saying mouse in the palace, a little bit of cheek and tongue. Obviously,
Oh yeah, no.
like
That
they
might
were-
have been Draymond, stepping on people, him maybe choking somebody out.
it wasn't even as bad as Draymond.
Kobe got pieced up. He got chin checked a few times. In the games and whatnot. Michael Jordan flat out choked somebody with both hands. Like, come on now. Like it ain't quite there yet. Like I said, I get it. People are frustrated, irritated. Caitlin probably, jaws here and there. She takes shots and whatnot. I mean, it's something that might have led up to that. And even if it necessarily didn't, the girl could have, taken a cheap shot. And that's not, right or anything like that. They both got licks back and everything like that. And we're continuing to play the game.
Yeah, it's just it's what I will say about the WNBA. Like, obviously, you don't want to ever be like fight and stuff like that, but the league's into it. Right now.
She does that to certain people though. Caitlin don't do that to everybody. She knows who to do it with and who not to do it with.
Well, Clark, she does talk. We saw her at Iowa. She likes to talk, and she, you know what? When you shoot the ball like that, sometimes you can talk, and but every now and then you're going to get a hard foul, and that's what we saw. But the good news for the WNBA is these players are definitely fired up and engaged. Like, this is going to be a fun finish, I think, for the WNBA. It's obviously the Fever, the Caitlin Clark, and the Fever. I won't sit here and lie and being like I'm super locked on WNBA. I need to do more of it, but it's not like the Fever out there just stomping out all the competition because they have Caitlin Clark now. Like, it's going to be a competitive, and you're definitely seeing that a little bit with the Fever getting a lot of the limelight. I just thought that was not a let's celebrate it sequence, but the WNBA is actually.
I like the passion. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody was hurt, and I'm not saying I like what happened and everything like that, but I like when the tempers flare. And it creates that competitive atmosphere, and girls get after it and whatnot. I'm not all for the swinging and pulling hair and all of that, but getting in people's faces and everything like that, telling them about it, and going out and handle business. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. And like you said, I'd much rather see a passionate player maybe do something over the line than a bunch of apathetic players collecting paychecks. And right now, the WNBA players, they're getting after it, and it's fun to watch. Obviously, there's a line it crosses, but right now it's pretty fun to watch. So I want to point that out there because that was a crazy timeline, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later. There was going to be a hard foul on Caitlin Clark, and someone's going to try to send a message, and that's what we got. But as we say, Fever ended up winning that game for everyone who's curious, so they got the last laugh at the very end there. But moving on to Husker football, yesterday, I think it was like pretty shortly after our show, we lost the top-ranked player in our class. CJ Brana decommits from Nebraska, 0-star. When Nebraska first offered him, is going to be a 5-star. I'll just come out and say it. Like, good luck to the kid. It's stupid to hate kids on the way out the door, especially knowing how often kids transfer today. Wish him the best. But your thoughts on losing the top commit of the 2026 class?
Did he reopen up his or where did he commit to now?
I think people are speculating Florida State. He hasn't committed anywhere yet, I don't think.
I mean, if it's Florida State, he's a defensive guy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm. Corner.
That's tough. You know what I mean?
Really, really good corner.
I mean, things happen or whatnot, especially, with what we had here with Tony and all of, the defensive staff and everything like that, with that change or whatnot. If it is Florida State or whatnot, you win some, you lose some. I mean, you can never fault the kid for choosing, what he thinks was best for him. I mean, unfortunately, it's not here or whatnot. And, the show goes on. I mean, nobody's going to cry over, spilled milk or anything like that. It sucks, we'll lick our wounds or whatnot, and, we'll keep on trucking along, wish the best luck, to him.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we sit with it. So keep an eye on that. I think Florida State is the one that people are eyeing a lot, obviously, because the Tony White, that still has an effect right there, and there's some players following over. So maybe Florida State. But, yeah, to your point, keep on rolling. And the other part of this is if you are Matt Rule, there is a pro and con. He just got a lot more NIL money. So he can go about this class a little bit more aggressively now than maybe before, because obviously when you have that good of a commit, you're going to hold out as long as he's committed to you. And then Once he decommits, I'd imagine they're going to see if they can try to get him back in there. We've had this happen before with guys decommitting and then recommitting almost instantaneously after. But, I mean, if he does move on, which is totally fine, we do have a lot more money in this class. Obviously, that's not great to lose. That great of recruit, probably going to be a 5-star. Right now, he's a very, very high 4-star at 4-star. So he's going to be a 5, I think, by the time he's already out of there. How much do you factor in the money part of that? If you're Matt Rule, this guy leaves, but now you have more money to go and get guys.
That's you like for him losing a guy or factoring the money to go get somebody else.
Yeah, like you lose it, but I'd have to imagine.
I mean, what's that money? I mean, you can go get you maybe hopefully another blue chip, or some type of higher caliber player that you can pay if that's offensive line, D line, is that linebacker, or do you go get you 2 corners instead of paying the price of 1?
I think
you can get 2 solid guys if money is the issue and problem and everything like that, or you can get you a JUCO transfer. It just depends on kind of what do you need, and what can you kind of get, kind of like what's out there and what can I don't want to say like how good like what's the most bang for your buck that you can kind of get, but it's kind of like that a little bit. You might be able to add a little bit more money somewhere else, or to get to flip somebody, or get somebody to you can offer them more money. I don't think it's all about that. It gives you a little bit of flexibility, but it's not end all be all. It just depends on what's out there, because 26 is right around the corner. I'm not too sure. They have these early signing days, which I think it's sometime in December where you can kind of be done and over with, and get things locked up for the 26 class per se, and everything like that. So I mean, this is the back stretch of the season, or of the recruiting trail and everything like that, because once you get your guys signed in December and whatnot, I mean that's it. So it sucks, but it's like, there are still other opportunities. There are, people that might have been swept by with, the 105 stuff being situated, the court things and everything like that. You kind of know what you can work with if you can, add a few more people, or instead of going after, another top 4-star to replace that, you might have to go get, 2. You might get this corner and another person at another position, which would be good.
Yeah, and that's the part where I think Rule, we've already had quite a few visits over the weekend, and it's I think there's maybe even 3 corners that came in, maybe it's just 2, but so they already have some guys. I think they're going to probably fill out that class pretty quick. And to your point, as far as I'm recalling here, Matt Rule has done pretty well on the early signing day. I'm getting guys in that December window to commit. I feel like Nebraska's done well of getting a lot of guys to go ahead and sign that paper early and get them locked in. So hopefully we can get there again with that class of 2026. And, there's still plenty of time to fill it up. I think we talked a little bit about it yesterday. Some people are a little worried that it seems thin, and it is thin right now. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's doomed to fail. There's still plenty of time left to fill up that class. And you definitely just loosen up some money there. Not in the best way, but you got some more money to work with. And just looking at all the guys over the weekends that have having visits, feels like they definitely got some targets in mind already. But that being said, we got about 5 minutes left here. We're just going to keep it on Husker football until we go to break here. Then maybe we'll transition over into the WNBA. But right now, how many wins, Big Ten wins, do you think Nebraska can get this upcoming season?
Honestly, I feel 8 is a respectable number. Like I think 8 is the floor. Honestly,
Big Ten wins. Just Big Ten conference wins. For Nebraska,
you got 3 non-conference games.
Yeah, and let me give you the teams real quick. This is obviously going to matter. So let me give you the Big Ten schedule for Nebraska football this upcoming year, and because there's some really bad numbers at Nebraska, it's been a long time since we've won a certain amount of bowl games. Okay, so Big Ten teams, tell me how many Big Ten games we win. You got Michigan, Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern, USC, UCLA, Penn State, Iowa.
I got 7, at least 7.
Okay.
I got 7. I think realistically 7.
So 7-2 in Big Ten conference play would be massive for this Husker football program.
Yeah, I mean that's right there up there. I mean, I don't. Michigan. I mean, we don't necessarily know what they are. They have a freshman quarterback. I mean, that's a toss up. They lost a lot. So I mean, if it is the loss, like okay, between them and Penn State, I feel like are the only 2 potential losses in the Big Ten. Everybody else can get got.
Yes, 100%. My fear is we never get them. We say this every year, and they can get got. They get us more often than not, and it's been that way for a while. Take a swing at a year. When was the last time Nebraska football won more than 3 Big Ten conference games in a season?
More than 3?
More than 3.
2016.
Hey, nailed it. Yeah, 2016 was the last time we beat.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why too. You can connect some dots there for sure. My hope is that there is people, you get into this offseason stuff. Everyone loves the analytics. And one of the big ones put out there, Kelly Ford on X, if you guys want to check it out, he's done every single conference. He has Nebraska projected Big Ten standings at about 6 wins. He thinks 5 Big Ten wins. That's a big jump. That's more than 3.
That's crazy. 5
and
with that schedule, like, come on now, like, if that
and the ceiling is 8. He has nothing for anything more than 8 wins. 2% chance to win 8 Big Ten games.
Like I said, I'm at 7. I don't think Minnesota is a tough opponent and everything like that, but no. Again, with year 2 with Dana and everything like that, with what we bring in and what we've reloaded on the offensive side and everybody being on the same page from start to finish. I understand, losing Tony is a lot or whatnot, but you have a coach that steps in that has been that understands the system and whatnot. And I think they're just, banking on the under versus the over. I really, truly believe that it like with that and with what Rule has been shown to do, in year 3 post, each year of taking the next step, like that's right up his alley. So I just don't understand why people aren't, believing it a little bit more than just kind of bare minimum.
I think, for the same reason why we have our own fans not trying to get excited. It's just a lot of media personalities have looked like idiots for saying this is the year for Nebraska. So I think there's a lot of caution there for a lot. And like,
I'm not saying you have to say this is the year, but I definitely think Nebraska will be a tough, dominant force to be dealt with in the Big Ten. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be a top 3 team. I'm not saying that. Could it potentially be that? Yes, I think so, absolutely. But I got us being at least at bare minimum, at least 6, a top 6 team in the Big Ten. That's at least 8 wins, regardless, right then and there. That's 7 wins in the Big Ten.
Okay, so the way he has this, top 6 in the Big Ten, he has Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Michigan. He likes Michigan a lot this year, bouncing back at 4. Are you buying into the Michigan? He thinks they're
no.
Okay, so Nebraska over Michigan?
We'll table that.
Okay, USC. He likes USC at 5.
I'm going Nebraska over USC. Don't care.
And then, surprisingly, my surprise was Illinois. Actually not buying as much hype on Illinois as I thought other people would. And then Indiana. They're not fully bought in yet, and that's where you get to Nebraska. The one thing I will give, Ford credit here is we went back to 2016 was the last time Nebraska won more than 3 Big Ten conference games. He has Nebraska at a 97% chance to at least win 3, and then of course 88.
I mean, we won more than 3 Big Ten games last year.
Yeah.
So, from that 6 or 7 you just said. Michigan would slide maybe above us. We might slide over them. Michigan is still, you still have to understand, what they are on the defensive side or whatnot. And I understand they have a different quarterback at the helm, but he's still a freshman quarterback. You kind of don't know there, so it's the table. So Michigan and us, I feel like is the middle ground. I don't feel like Michigan. I feel like Michigan is back to or close to where after Denard Robinson left Michigan, to where Michigan was kind of up there in one of those teams, and now they're kind of slowly like coming down off that hill. I would put Illinois at that 4-5 spot, Indiana right after that, and then between us and Michigan will be the next in line. That's how I got it. I'm not buying anything that USC has. I don't. If USC doesn't have a good year this year, Lincoln Riley might be in the hot seat.
Yeah, he's got a USC. I'm on the same camp. They got to prove it. I can't. Like last year we should have really taken advantage of that down USC team. Like this team, I'd have to take a deeper dive into the recruiting to see like why they're so high on them, having a significant jump. But yeah, I think most people are a little higher on Nebraska, and then of course CJ decommits, and a lot of people are going to lose their minds. But rationale, people have expectations of an improved Nebraska, but I'm kind of seeing the mean be a little bit of improvement, not a whole lot. So obviously on our end, we want a much bigger improvement on that year 3 that's typical for Matt Rule. But there you go right there. On a lot of people's analytics, they're thinking, yes, definitely better. They break through and they finally win more than 3. Because again, we won 3 conference games. The thing is we haven't won more than 3 at November, December. It always gets brutal there for us. So hopefully we can take a bigger leap than just 1 or 2 more wins. And we can win, to your point. I mean, if we got 7 Big Ten wins, Nebraska is not back like it was in the 90s, but we're creeping back to being back like we were in the Bo Pelini era at the very least. So with that being said, we'll throw it to break. Don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour to morning. Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. We'll talk to you guys in a bit.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety. If you're working in your yard, remember never to place landscaping structures and fences too close to above ground electrical equipment. It's unsafe and could cost you financially. Visit les.com for a complete fence and landscaping installation guide.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatch Mac, nachos, and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Demorne Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in segment number 2, Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, you guys can always join in via the text line, despite us streaming only, as we do got Royals once again playing the Texas Rangers tonight. And we will continue there, and we'll have more shows afterwards. But again, just follow those streams. All right, let's talk some more Husker football here before we go anywhere else. And we talked about, Kelly Ford. He does analytics every year on his X. It's great stuff. It's all just numbers, though, so definitely nothing to take for absolute truth. But there is some estimation that Nebraska is definitely going to break through that horrible record of not winning more than 3 Big Ten conference games since 2016, as there's at least a 97% shot that they absolutely break through. You're also seeing some more hype around it. If you even go on DraftKings, it's been a while since Nebraska wasn't a 4-digit odd to make the college football playoffs. It helps when it expands, but right now they got them about plus 900. So if you really like that, and a lot of it is due of you don't have an Ohio State, you don't have an Oregon, you got a Michigan, but supposedly a weaker Michigan, and then you do get Penn State. But if you can, steal Michigan or Penn State, then we're definitely breaking through 3, probably 4, 5, 6. Morning, how realistic is it to even think about Husker football making the playoffs this year?
Are they expanding it, or is it still going to be 12?
12, it's still 12 this year, right? Yeah, I could be wrong. I think it's 2026 is when it's going to start expanding again.
I think that's we're on the outside looking in on that part. So many other things has to go well for us can it be possible? Yes, because it's college football. We've seen Indiana. We've seen Indiana blossom, overnight. So I'm not gonna say no. It's impossible. Is it a stretch? I think so. If we take care of business, stay healthy, and everything like that, we could definitely be in it. It depends. We would have to win the Big Ten championship. That's it. You have to go to that game now. Now, if we're in that game and whatnot and everything like that, then yes, absolutely. I think we have a strong chance of being in there. But with our schedule and everything like that, it's not a long stretch. I just think it's a stretch.
Yeah, I think it's still a stretch. I'd say about plus 900 says it's a stretch. You can do it, but it's a stretch to do it. So I think that's a pretty fair assessment for this upcoming year. If they were to do it, what does that look like? Or even just a significantly improved. And I'll give you my 2 short senses. Dylan Raiola absolutely steps up to the plate, and it's the Dana Holgorsen and Dylan Raiola offense is significantly better than people expected.
I think the mentality on both sides. I understand Tony being gone and everything like that, but still being able to uphold that or top that, the defense mentality, and then what the offense is going to look like. I think we'll be a little bit more run heavy. That's just my opinion this year, just of what we have in the backfield. And if teams want to try and take that away, we have pieces on the outside to where Dana will open up the playbook. So I think the mentality and how consistent and healthy we are will contribute to that. And then, numbers don't lie. Third down, we have to be for that to happen. We would have to be top 3 in the Big Ten and probably top 10 in the nation, probably top 8 in the nation. If you are converting in third down and if you're scoring, and you're winning 2/3 of the games or whatnot, and you're not losing stuff, and your defense, is a top 25 defense. I think that's a good stretch, and you have to upset somebody. Now, who would be the biggest upset this year? Honestly, probably Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State or whatever you think of Michigan. If you think Michigan's going to be that good. But Penn State, I think we all pretty well there should be clicking.
Well, Michigan won't have their coach while coaching up against us. So, I mean, there shouldn't be an excuse for us. So that's just me thinking. And I mean, that may be something that they can hang on their head, but it's still early enough in the season after, we've kind of got some wins under us and everything like that. So I don't think that's to me, that's not necessarily an upset. An upset would be Penn State, but then yet again, what is Penn State going to be? Because they lost a lot.
Yeah, well, they lost. They lost a lot.
They lost a lot of firepower. Offensive wise, I know they have a good quarterback, or supposedly a good quarterback coming in.
Yeah, Aller's back.
So I mean, he was there with that offense, and that offense wasn't really, it was very bland. Their defense kept him in a lot of games. They, grind games out and whatnot. They didn't make mistakes and whatnot. And I know they produce, stars on defense and everything like that. But, I mean, somebody has to make a name for themselves. So I'm not exactly sure what all Penn State is going to be back. Yes, they're going to be a tough team. Yes, I still think they're going to be one of the top teams in the Big Ten or whatnot. But I don't know exactly, what they will look like.
Yeah, and that's, a good point. The defensive side especially. I mean, they lost a lot of good talent there. Offensively, they lost some talent, but that's not really the area they were. I mean, that was the Warren offense. It was one of the craziest things, having a tight end do as much as they did for that Penn State offense. And we kind of saw Aller really struggle in the playoffs. The defense was carrying that team, but it's on the road. So I would say that's right now, as it sits outside the season before it starts, Penn State is that opportunity to go out there on the road and upset them. And then you feel pretty good about Iowa the next week if you can find a way to take down Penn State. And that'd be a great one. We'll real quick go through our records of all the Big Ten teams we have on the schedule and what Nebraska's record has been against them since joining the Big Ten. We're going to keep fueling this fire of optimism, but also putting a little bit of realism on the end of it. So versus Michigan, since joining the Big Ten, Nebraska's record is 2-5. Michigan State 4-4. Maryland, the two of the only positive ones on here, or excuse me, three. Maryland 2-1, Minnesota 5-8, Northwestern 7-6. It's almost a 500 between Nebraska and Northwestern. That should tell you a lot about where this program's been. USC 0-2, UCLA 1-3. USC and UCLA are using bowl games to get those numbers, to be fair. And then Penn State, the best record Nebraska has against any Big Ten opponent. 4-1 Pierson-El.
It's Penn State. What was the record?
4-1. Nebraska's 4-1 against Penn State since joining the Big Ten.
And that one loss was that was 17, I think.
Yeah, let me look. Yeah, I think you might be right.
I know the loss. That was the Saquon Barkley team. That's not bad. I'm telling you, like depending on how much this team will be rolling by the time we get to Penn State, I'm trying to tell you, if Michigan gets knocked off, like how I think they're going to get knocked off by us, things will be. I think you remember how stuff was. People were talking about Nebraska last year, week after week and everything like that. I think it's going to double what that was, where people are going to be woke and people are going to be circling that Nebraska Penn State game. I truly believe that.
I mean, especially if Nebraska's got something to play for. If they stay hot, like that is going to be a massive game.
We don't have Illinois this year, we don't have Illinois, right, on the schedule.
No, that's a blessing. We don't.
We don't have Illinois. We don't have Ohio State.
Oregon.
No Oregon. You got. I'll take SC and UCLA. Like we were both in those games, and we both pissed down our own leg. That's on us more so than them. So I like those. I like those chances. Yeah, I mean, yes, you have Iowa. Iowa is just a tough, rugged game. I get that. With Fitz not being at Northwestern, I take Northwestern and get that matchup. For whatever reason, Fitzgerald had Northwestern ready to go against us. It was just always an Achilles heel, kryptonite. With him gone in Northwestern, I'll take that matchup any day. Minnesota is a tough matchup, but we catch them early enough to we're not really licking our wounds. I'll take that matchup. So I'm trying to tell it's not as tough of a schedule as people think. The last stretch of just Penn State and Iowa at the back to back hurts. That is it.
Yeah, I mean that's two bruisers back to back right there, and of course when you have to be on the road, playing at Penn State, and then we get Iowa at home, so we get to finish the year at home, which is nice. The only games that just that Minnesota game makes me nervous. It just does. Minnesota's had just some gut wrenching wins over Nebraska. When you look at Minnesota, I know this is a weird team to lock in on, but they've beaten us pretty consistently at the final few plays of the game over and over and over. And it's really one of those few teams that, we finally caught Wisconsin, the Iowa. We've been so close so many times. I'm not going to say Iowa dominates. We have won one not too long ago. We need to try to get back to that. But Minnesota has been just a pain in Nebraska's butt every time we get them on the schedule. We think of it like, yes, this is one we should win. We haven't won it. We just haven't for quite a while. What is it about Minnesota? Because this one is on the road too. So you're playing in Minnesota October 17th. So it's not going to be like miserably cold or anything. What is it about Minnesota that just seems to have Nebraska's number over the years?
They're a physical sound team. They don't make many mistakes. They make the plays that they're supposed to make. They capitalize when they're supposed to capitalize. And then if you throw in, a few lucky plays here or, a few broken coverages or something along the lines like that, like they capitalize enough to where, that coach has them ready to go.
Yeah.
And with them being consistently prepared, they don't mess up. They've had a lot of underrated talent. They've honestly been a factory as of recently of putting people in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying first rounders or anything like that. They do have some first rounders, but from second to fifth or sixth rounders, that they've put a nice chunk of people in the league for, I would say, these last 5-6 years. That's not easy to do. They're just ready. Like I said, they're not. They're a slower, not as aggressive Wisconsin. Like that's what they are.
Yeah, especially now that Luke Fickell's taken over Wisconsin. Minnesota's always going to win that battle of being just the more fundamental, less flash. Because do you remember, this was the most telling sign for me, unfortunately, for the Scott Frost era, when Minnesota lost their entire offensive line due to COVID and then ran the ball down our throat with all replacement offensive line that just had to suit up that day. Like, that was insanity. But that tells you whatever you think about PJ Fleck, he has
prepared. It's you understand that assignment, you understand execution, you understand where you're supposed to be at, and when you do those things consistently, time and time again, if your opponent isn't necessarily prepared enough or loses those battles more than they win, the side of the quarter will land on the lucky side for you. You know what I mean? 50-50 as more like they get that 75% of the time, and it's those type of games that they win out.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of Minnesota's culture, and I think it's some of the beauty of what Brett Bielema is doing in Illinois. Sometimes simplicity isn't a bad thing.
No.
Especially when you get to the middle of the season or later in the season, injuries start piling up. Then you got to start calling on your depth. And if you got a crazy complicated system or offense and schemes, and you have multiple tough injuries, like, it becomes an absolute nightmare. If you got a more simple system, you feel a lot better about having everyone on the same page. And then also, I just think, PJ Fleck in particular, I think he's really good at developing depth and just always having that next group of guys ready.
Absolutely.
I'm going to skip over the break. I'm looking at the clock now. It's already 48 minutes into it, so we'll just finish up on this last segment for another 5 minutes here. Minnesota sticks out to me as a big one. The other games that feel like a trap game, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, would actually be, once again, I just think UCLA. I don't know what it is about them. Are you worried at all because of last year's performance, or is that just UCLA was hot that day and they got the better of us? The enemy is gone, who was the mastermind of that offense.
Exactly. So with him being gone and everything like that, I feel a lot better. But you also have that quarterback there, depending on how he looks and everything like that, that absolutely could be a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those games where you can't just overlook it or anything like that. Happy that Bieniemy is gone. Like I said, I think he kind of gave them an edge. Everywhere he's went, he's kind of tough old school coach. And so with him being gone, it's definitely a trap game. It's definitely a sleeper game, especially if I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention to them with that quarterback there. And if they're rolling and everything like that, again, you catch them at the wrong time. And we play them after Minnesota or before Minnesota.
It's very late in the season, so that's when it's after Minnesota, and then we go Northwestern, and then we hit the West Coast, USC, then UCLA, then Penn State, Iowa.
Okay, so it can be it's one of those late in seasons to where you got to have your mind right, and you got to understand. You may be sore, you may be mentally frustrated with things or whatnot that they have to lock in that week for sure.
It's depending on UCLA, like last year, it's just like obviously the season wasn't really going great and they just didn't care. They had a lot of animosity in a good way just to go ruin it for somebody else. And that's like the attitude you need to have when the season's not going your way is like keep fighting. UCLA did a really good job that I thought last year, just staying to it. And now this year, a much better quarterback, even if it's not great and their record isn't what they want it to be. What time is that game? The time is obviously to be decided. I'm not going to have that out there yet, but especially if they're not great, I don't know how many Nebraska fans are out there in California or how many would travel. I think we'll have a decent amount, but say it's 11 a.m.
What month do we play in?
It's going to be November 8th.
Oh yeah, people we're traveling.
You think pretty good show?
California traveling.
I might. It'd be cool if people take like a 2-week vacation and then go to USC and then they go to UCLA. We just fill both stadiums up.
Both of those games are away. One of them got to be home.
No, USC. Yeah, you're right. USC's at home because we were at USC last year. So
yeah,
we do.
One of those games got to be home game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just UCLA. So I think you might be right on that. November, people might want to go ahead and travel. November 25th too. So, kind of around those holiday times. That should be a lot of fun. Any other games in the schedule that feel like a quote unquote trap before we get off of it?
Not between Minnesota and UCLA. I think those are the two ones that if I was concerned or to be worried, it would be those two.
Yeah. And then Northwestern as well, just because.
I don't think so.
I forgot. They usually the odd even year kind of fell off with them. The only thing about Northwestern is just we've had some weird games with them in the past. Like really, really close finishes.
That coach is not there no more, so I feel a lot better.
That is a good point. He was really doing a lot for that program because they didn't have a lot. I mean, probably some of the worst facilities to argue with. Like they had a good diploma, and that was the thing they're selling on. And NIL has made that probably a nightmare. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Shout out Northwestern academics. They're stricter than a lot of other Big Ten schools. Good morning, Pierson-El. You got to give them flowers when they deserve them. You know that Northwestern degree travels far. All right.
It definitely does. It for sure does. That's how I'm laughing. I was like, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's just great. And you know what? 7-6. If they beat us, then we have a 500 record with Northwestern in the Big Ten. And that says a lot about where Nebraska's been since entering the Big Ten. All right, final thoughts. We're going to wrap it up here. We haven't talked NBA at all. Is this game going to be over? Good morning, Pierson.
I think so.
Okay, so you got Thunders winning it. And just the NBA Finals wrapping up right here.
Yep. I like I said, I think the adjustments that OKC has been able to make on the fly has been too much for Indy to handle. Indy has been too inconsistent, and with the game on the line. So if OKC can end it tonight, why even risk it when this team honestly has been on your heels? If they played consistently better, we might be having a different conversation. So if they got the energy and power to end it tonight, I think they'll end it. Or end it Thursday night, they'll end it.
Yeah, tomorrow night is then, and I believe it's 7:30 a game again. Yeah, that one to me, like if you're the Thunder, I 100% agree with you. Like if Halliburton's leg's hurting right now, let's just go take care of this. Like, you don't want to give him any more rest. And especially if it gets to a game 7, that extra rest, he can go all out. Not really. I mean, obviously you're going to care, but it's a lot easier to play on an injury knowing this is the last time I got to play in this injury. Then I get the offseason to finally rest it. If you got Halliburton hurting right now, you want to take advantage of it. And again, especially last game, he only had 4 points, was 0 for 6 field goals wise, clearly struggling. Pascal Siakam, he's going to have to do a lot. And we both agreed on that. And they're going to have to cool it on the turnovers tomorrow night if they want the series to continue. That's going to wrap it up for us. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate the time as always. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Malone Radio Show coming up next.